So tell the people what we're actually doing right now, bro.
We've literally just wrapped up a filming session in the gym, got some short form in the car and just in the gym as well. Wanted to get a few lifestyle shots, but to be honest with you, the gym was a little bit packed, so we're gonna come back and do it. We're just dropping back now, doing a little long form YouTube video. And yeah.
So what does a normal day look like for you, bro?
Well, I'd say like every day is pretty different, you know. Like no day is the exact same. Ideally, I try and take calls on 3 of the days out of the weekdays, but to be honest, that's just like a recent thing. So yeah, no day is the same, and that's kind of how I like it. That's a big reason why I started in the space, to have the freedom to do what I want to do. So yeah, I wouldn't say every day is at all similar, to be honest with you, bro. I like just, you know, doing what I want to do, basically. Like freedom's a massive part of what I'm doing here, do you know what I mean?
And for anyone that's never heard of you, who are you?
Yeah, so my name's Aaron. I run a sales management and recruitment consulting firm. We essentially manage, so we have a full done-for-you management offer. We also consult people on their sales teams, and we also have a recruitment pool of over 4,400 reps, so we recruit for online.
So a big part of the story is generating $19 a month to over $3 million a month for your clients. So can you take me back to when you were at $19 a month?
Yeah, so when I was at that $19 a month mark in the first month, what I was actually doing was I was doing outbound setting on Facebook for a marketing agency. So cold outbound, not even with the marketing agency's logo or anything. It was literally just like a few girls' profiles, and then I was basically just doing outreach from like 9 of those accounts. What I was doing is I was doing 1,000 outreach a day at some point. I was putting in my setting group, I just did 1,000 outreach a day. Everyone's like, what offer are you on? Because that was just not normal at all, but I was putting in the graph from day one. Obviously not seeing the results, but now, you know, it's starting to come into fruition.
So what was actually going on in your life at that point?
I was still in uni at that point. You know, to be honest with you, never really actually went into uni that much when I was actually there. But yeah, that year I was just about staying under the radar essentially. So going to what I needed to go to. There was a few group assignments that needed to be done and stuff. But yeah, I was just kind of like coasting with uni. I was really going ham with my self-improvement, just had my boxing fight. And yeah, I was basically getting into setting. I went to a Gen Z networking club. Shout out Gen Z, you lot started me in all of this. And that's basically what got me started, just going to that networking group. But that's what I was basically doing during that time.
What were you telling yourself, and what were the people around you saying?
Well, to be honest, like I was saying like, yo, I'm not going out till 10k a month, and even some people that I would call friends back in the day, they were hating on that. They were saying like, what do you mean, like you're never gonna be able to make that money, Not everyone. There was like only a select few. Like some people just didn't say anything about it, and I was just doing my thing. But there was a select few that did doubt. I'm not gonna lie to say that didn't happen.
What was the first money you ever made in sales, and do you remember how you felt?
Yeah, so the first money I ever made in sales was actually that $19 month, and to be honest with you, it felt pretty depressing because I'd put in so much work. This was the first time that I'd been paid solely on commission. I put in so much work, done everything that I could possibly do, did everything that my mentor told me to do, and I only made $19. So to be honest, the first bit of online money was a bit soul crushing, I can't lie.
So you started as an appointment setter.
Yeah.
So what made you go, actually, I want to build an agency instead of just appointment setting?
Well, what it was is I was working on all these offers and I was seeing how the infrastructure worked. And to be honest with you, I was just thinking I could do this way better, but I just didn't know how. So I knew I needed to get the stripes. But to be honest, that was always the intention. I always saw appointment setting as a stepping stone to doing something else.
And if set by scales never happened, what do you think you'd be doing right now?
If set by scales never happened, to be honest, I would have kept trying with my event company. We had to shut down the event company. Shout out Ben Penn, my boy, for that we used to run the event company with. But yeah, shut down the event company in like this May or yeah, kind of like April time. So that was just when I first started setting. So I probably would have still been going all in on that. Also reselling, just going out all the time, fucking around essentially.
How does the business actually work?
We have 2 VAs. I have an operations manager, client success manager, all round bad man, Calvin. He's basically my right hand in everything that I essentially do. He ensures that, you know, client success is at a high level and also that operations is running smoothly. And then I do all of the sales calls at the minute. We're looking to kind of scale to that 40k a month mark when it would make sense to then get a closer in. But at the minute, I'm taking all the calls. We then also have an appointment setter. Shout out my boy Nahum. Me and Nahum went to uni with him. He's been there from the start. He's going to be there at the end. But yeah, he's setting on my account right now. So we've got him there, and that's kind of the business, like in terms of people. In terms of systems, we have the internal pool. We're currently building out Setly. Again, shout out Calvin for making that for the team. But yeah, that's basically how the business works in terms of like an infrastructure and like people side of things.
You promised to place a sales team in 72 hours. How is that even possible?
Yeah, so the way that's possible is the fact that we have that internal network of over 4,400 sales reps. So even just off those people alone, we get like 100 to 150 applicants. These applicants, by the way, they'll come in, you know, in the first 24 hours or whatever. So if we can get all of those applicants in the first 24 hours, we can do role plays in the next day, and in the third day, leading us up to that 72-hour time frame, we can then get on interviews with them, vet them, and get them onboarded. So that's kind of how we can guarantee that. And on top of that, I also have an extensive network. Like, I don't know, if you're in closing coaching groups or setting coaching groups, you probably see my name, and I've been posting roles. And the reason why I get so many people apply is because all of my roles go into all of these groups as well as my internal network. So I basically have access to the entire space at a drop of the hat.
So your whole thing is I tested every system on myself first. Why does that matter so much?
You don't really understand the market until you've actually done it yourself and you've actually lived it yourself. So how am I going to advise people on the market when I don't even get the market myself? I need to test things on myself, see what works, see what doesn't on me first, then go through the failures on me first, go through the mistakes on me first, so that when I do go to my clients, I already know what I'm doing because I've done it for myself and a load of other people as well.
What's the part of running a recruitment agency that nobody warns you about?
I would say it's the churn. Like, it is a thing. Sales reps do churn. We aim to make sure that they don't churn, but it's going to happen. We have like a churn guarantee in place just in case, and we do aim to make sure this doesn't happen, but sometimes it does. And I guess that's kind of the hardest part to deal with because you're not prepared. Like, when you have a hire, you've done the sales call, you've set the person, everyone, the team's all ready, all prepared. When a churn happens, it happens like that. So it's a random thing where now you got to deal with it, you're on your feet kind of thing. So I'd say that's probably the bit that's probably the hardest.
So you've generated over £3 million for clients, but what's a result you're more proud of than money?
When I first started setting, that's when I became the 2.0 version. When I hit my first 10K a month, that's when I hit the 3.0 version. And now I'm aiming to hit the 4.0 version. But the biggest achievement, not including any money, nothing to do with that, is the person that I'm becoming, because that's the most important part.
What does a genuinely great sales rep have that you can't teach?
Something that a sales rep has that you can't teach is drive. You can't really teach drive. Like, for example, when someone loses their drive, it's potentially gone and it's going to be very hard to get back, but it's basically gone. So you can't really teach drive. Someone just has to have it, just have to have like the dog in them, basically.
So you see hundreds of sales teams. Why do most of them actually fail? Is it usually the reps or the people running them?
I would say it's infrastructure. It's never usually the reps. It's usually the system behind them. Right? So what I mean by that is no management layer, no data management. There's no visibility on the campaign as a whole. I could literally list the things, but there's so many, we'd be here for so long.
You talk about treating every client like they're paying you 100K a month. Where did that come from?
Yeah, so it actually came from my mentor, the Lion Glass. Shout out Jordan. He told me, think of every client like they're paying you 100K a month. So give them the service that you would if you were getting £100,000 come into your account every single month. Obviously, you're not getting that coming, but because you act like that, and you're giving them that service, it means that they're way more likely to hit that 100K a month. It's the same as the Be Do Have stuff. Like, you need to act like you're the 100K a month service delivery provider before you actually are, and then you just will become it.
So what's the most common thing people get wrong about selling?
I would say the most common thing that people get wrong about selling is that you need to follow a script. You do not need to follow a script. Back in the day when I first started closing I didn't even know how to close. I was just jumping on the calls and just figuring it out as I went along. You do need a framework, don't get me wrong, and I probably made a lot of mistakes by just going in there blind, but you do not need a script. Scriptless selling is king.
So you're 23, doing all of this. Be honest, what's the pressure really like? And how often do you compare yourself to others?
I never compare myself to others. The only person that I compare myself to is the man in the mirror. Like, it's literally just me versus me, to be honest with you. Like, I'm just trying to get better than the Aaron yesterday. Do you get me?
So what does a non-negotiable day look like for you?
So a non-negotiable day looks like wake up, do some affirmations, get a bit of meditating in, get my supplements in, get a nice hefty breakfast in as well. Then deep work in the form of calls for the first kind of like 4 hours of the day. Then get to the gym. Once I've done the gym, come back, do another 4 hours of work, then go back to the gym and either do cardio or weights, whichever one I didn't do in the first session. Maybe go to the sauna, come back, take a bit quick magnesium, whatever, have dinner, and I just chill for the rest of the day. Or I watch some educational videos or something like that.
What have you given up to build this that people don't see?
I gave up a whole degree. I've spent about 48 bags on a university degree that I've never got. And the reason why I didn't get it is because I gave it up for this. So I guess that's the biggest sacrifice, especially because like when I tell people like, oh, I've dropped out of uni, it's not like, especially if they're a little bit older, it's not like, oh, that's so, it's like, oh. So I guess that's what I gave up. But really, what did I give up? It's a degree, you get me? But if I could pick one thing, it would be that.
Is it lonely building something this fast and this young?
I wouldn't say it's lonely, to be honest, because obviously it's very much like a people kind of business. Like, you know, you're having to take sales calls, you're having to talk to people. You know, I'm taking so many calls all the time. I also link up with my clients all the time, people that I work with as well. So I wouldn't say it's lonely, but what I would say is at the start it was like when I was just going through it all on my own. I didn't have a team behind me. I didn't have loads of different clients. It was, you know, very much just me, myself and I, and then maybe one client or whatever. I guess that part was lonely, but I've always had my girlfriend during this time to kind of make sure that I've never felt lonely like that.
So give me your most unpopular opinion about the whole remote sales and agency space right now.
I wouldn't say it's necessarily unpopular, but potentially a little bit controversial maybe. Not everyone should be coaching. I can't lie to you, not everyone should be coaching. There are a lot of coaches out there, not even, you know, just in the sales space, but just in the info space as a whole, that should not be coaching. Like, obviously I get the whole thing, oh, you only need to be a few steps ahead, but surely you should get a few more steps ahead yourself before you go into coaching. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
So do you think DM setting is about to get hit hard by AI?
Yeah, to be honest with you, DM setting is on its way out. It might be 3 months, it might be 6, might be 12, might be 2 years, but it's going to happen soon. And I know the people that are kind of at the front of all this, and the technology is okay, but it just doesn't have emotional intelligence. Like what I've noticed, especially like the coaches that have over 100k followers, they can kind of use AI because they have so much lead flow, so it doesn't really matter. But ultimately, they're leaving money on the table. Like I don't care what anyone says, yes, it can reply quicker than you, but at the end of the day, it doesn't have the emotional intelligence needed. So you're leaving money on the table anyway, do you get me? So
what would you say to the version of yourself that first started saying?
I would say just keep going. Like there was a lot of times over these past 2 years where I thought, yeah, I can't lie, this is not for me, I can't do this anymore. But keep going, because there's a whole world of success out there for you as long as you're willing to go through all the bullshit to get there.
Strip away the money and the numbers. What does success actually look like for you?
One word: freedom. I would honestly say that it's not about the money. Obviously you want to have abundance of money, you want to not be able to think about money, like about bills and that, whatever, but ultimately it comes down to freedom. So what does that mean? Time freedom, location freedom, and financial freedom. And also, this is a freedom that I learned recently, internal freedom. So free internal. And what does that mean? Having a good mental slate, basically.
When all of this is said and done, what do you want people to say that you've built?
I want Set by Scales to be the go-to brand when it comes to anything to do with sales management, sales consulting, recruitment, and anything in between. Thank you for watching that video. If you enjoyed content like this, drop a follow, drop a subscribe. I don't know what people usually say in this part of the video, but yeah, cheers.